today is the kind of a day where I have a lot of time to myself, so I thought I'll take you guys along and show you what I'm gonna do. I actually have no specific plan. I know I need to do some revisions. I'd like to do some reading as well, and I'm probably gonna do some things around the house. I wanted to update you guys on where I am in my revisions process. I have to say, the revisions turned out to be much more intimidating than I originally thought. When I thought of revisions, I thought of the making it pretty kind of phase, which I'm excited about. So I'm excited to go on the sentence level and try to make it pretty and, you know, make sure the structure and the language and everything flows. But that is not the stage of the revisions I'm at. I'm at the developmental edits stage. And this stage is very hard when you're self-editing because you are trying to find everything that doesn't work in your book. And when you were writing your book, you wrote it a specific way because you felt that it worked. So now I have to completely do a 180 and start thinking about what doesn't work. And honestly, it's unpleasant to think about the things that don't work. But I have already found some things that I'd like to improve at least. And I don't know, I think I will need that feedback of my critique partners, my writer friends, to help me find more of those things. It's really hard to find it myself, but I've been using multiple things to try and help myself navigate this new task that I have. So the first thing I did, which took me a little bit, like maybe a week or two, is I went through the entire book and I did a reverse outline. So I basically summarized what happens in the book to help me see the progression of the plot and to also help me find those places where maybe my character is not being active enough. I think I have maybe around 10 pages of that reverse outline. And then after that, I printed out my draft and I started going through every paragraph or every scene, looking for things that maybe don't work so well, looking for things that do work well, and also finding what this paragraph or this scene is bringing to the story. So this way I'm hoping to find those spots that really maybe are not moving the story forward as much, or that need to disclose more information somehow, whether it is through direct speech or through body language or descriptions, things like that. And so that takes a long time. So far I only completed the first chapter this way and I've started chapter 2. So today I would like to complete chapter 2. That is my goal for today. It's a reread, but it's not just a reread like, oh, let me see what I wrote, but it's a reread searching for potential improvements. Since that is something that requires me to be in the work mode, I'd like to start with that. And then once I get tired of it and I complete the second chapter, I can switch to more pleasant activities or activities that just have to be done that don't require any brain power. So let's just see what this day brings. Chapter 2 read through, and I've also done some editing on a YouTube video. So right now I'm gonna take a walk because it's gonna get too hot later, and I do want to have, well, me doing the school drop off and pick up gives me some steps in the morning and in the afternoon, but I do want to get maybe half an hour of walking on top of that. So I'm gonna do it right now. This is such an unusual book, and I don't know how to feel about it. This is my first time reading M.T. Anderson, and I'm just getting used to his style. So there are a couple of things he's doing that I'm not used to. One thing he's doing is head hopping. When he started writing about the dog and then about the boy. And so in my head, the boy is the main character because it's kind of his story. He found the dog and things go from there. But he frequently switches between the perspectives of different members of the family. Sometimes he talks from the headspace of his older sister. Sometimes he talks from the headspace of the younger sister. Sometimes he talks about what his parents think. So, and it's not like multi-POV. I could see that if it was like every character had their own chapter, but he just mixes it all together, and you could be reading and half of the chapter could be from the point of view of the boy, and then all of a sudden we shift into his sister's inner eye, and that's always so jarring to me. I just can't get used to it. But at the same time, I don't think this author doesn't know that you're not supposed to do that. I think they do it on purpose because it's just something they like to do. And I haven't read any other books of theirs, but I've got to believe that this is deliberate, because some of the best scenes, in my opinion, in this book are very much similar to that in terms of being a little chaotic or absurd, but in a very, very fun way. I picked up this book as a comp, as a possible comp for my own book, and I don't think it is. It's very different and it's a thing of its own. It's extremely imaginative. When I'm writing my books, I always try to think logically. I always try to think like, does this make sense? Is it plausible? And there's none of that in his book. It's all, you know, if his imagination takes him there, he just goes there. He doesn't care if it's logical or plausible. Like, for example, something like, if something magical happens, how are people reacting to that? Like, the way I do it, people, if they've never had any magic in their life before and they are encountering something magical, I expect them to have a reaction to it, like, how is this possible and what's going on? There's none of that here. So when the boy's family is exposed to magic, they just take it for granted as if it was always a part of their world. And to me, it's like, but that's not logical. That's not how they would react. But to him and his style of writing, that works. And so it's just interesting to see how different people are doing things. But what I realized by reading this book, I'm kind of almost done. It's a smaller book too. But what I realized is that this is not a good comp for me. It's very different from my style, but it's great to read different authors with different styles and different things, because like you can know what their hooks are and it helps you identify yours. So his hook is definitely like just imagination running wild, and there's a big audience for that. And my stuff is much more, let's make it realistic in a way. So at least in what I've written so far. So just interesting to read for research, and as a reader, I do enjoy it too. I think I'll have to end the vlog early today. I'm actually sick. Well, I didn't feel sick today until now. I was sick with fever and like just sore throat, just viral stuff yesterday. And I actually stayed home from work yesterday, but this morning I felt much better and it's my day off, so I thought I would vlog this video for you guys. And now it's like 5:30-ish and I'm just feeling miserable again. Like my ears are burning, I have this sore throat, and I still have one more errand to run today, so I can't go to bed super early. So I made myself this tea. I got some green tea with pomegranate, some honey, and some lemon. So I'm gonna drink that, and I'm gonna relax for about like 15-20 minutes, and then I have to go run my errands. And then after that, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna go straight to bed. I was thinking about taking a bath today, but no, that's just not a good idea today. So that's gonna be it for today's vlog. We did a little bit of revisions. We did more than 30 minutes of reading, so I'm happy about that. I did want to do some reading today. And I did do a couple of things around the house, not too much, but all things considered, this was a nice day off, and thank you guys so much for spending it with me. If you like this type of vlogs, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!